I want to talk about why, even if you don't live in Texas, you should pay attention to what's going on politically in the state of Texas. This is a very Republican state, and it is essentially a laboratory for all that MAGA wants to do nationally. Now that the Republican Party has the office of the president, has the Congress, and essentially the Supreme Court. The state is extremely gerrymandered, so the Republicans have an ability here to push through just about whatever they want. Democratic resistance has very little effect. We also have a very extreme MAGA governor in Greg Abbott. There's been talk about him running for president on the Republican side in 2028. And we have an extremist MAGA attorney general in Ken Paxton. He's faced corruption charges, but is still in office, and he is talking about running against John Cornyn for Texas's Senate seat in 2026. So I am sure that you are all aware that Texas has one of the most extreme abortion bans in the state. Not only that, but there is a $10,000 bounty on any citizen who successfully sues an abortion provider in the state of Texas for providing abortion services. That bounty also applies to any citizen who successfully sues someone who aids and abets a woman in obtaining abortion services, regardless of where those services are obtained. Most recently, the medical board that investigates maternal deaths in the state of Texas has decided not to investigate any maternal deaths from 2023 and 2024, and this decision was explicitly made in order to attempt to hide information around deaths that may have resulted directly from the abortion ban. There have been at least 3 such deaths that we are aware of so far. The most recent one being of a 19-year-old woman who was 6 months pregnant. She very much wanted that baby. On the day of her baby shower, she experienced a miscarriage, went to 3 separate emergency rooms and was denied the care she needed, and she ultimately died. Essentially, pregnant women are hot potato in the state of Texas. Doctors do not want to touch them for fear of the personal consequences they may face. Ken Paxton has made it quite clear that he's very eager to jail medical professionals if they step a single toe out of line with respect to the abortion ban. And the guidelines make it very unclear. Essentially, doctors cannot step in to perform life-saving care until a pregnant woman is near death. But then you get into a gray area. How do you define near death? No one is really sure, to be honest, and the Republican Party does not seem to have any desire to provide any clarity. There does not seem to be any concern that women are actually dying, not just women seeking abortions, but women who are wanting to have babies. If you are a pregnant woman in the state of Texas, it is not safe. Doctors are leaving. They do not want to practice in a state where the government is going to step in and deny them the ability to provide necessary medical services for their patients. If you live outside of Texas but are pregnant and traveling, whether it's for work or for personal reasons, do not come to Texas. It is not safe. If something goes wrong, there is no guarantee that you will be able to get the medical services that you need. I'd also like to mention the state of laws against the trans community here in Texas. This is not a safe state to be trans. It is not permissible to change your gender markers either on your birth certificate or your driver's license. Trans youth are not able to get gender-affirming care, and the city of Odessa, which is a city of 100,000 people, roughly, has placed a $10,000 bounty on trans individuals who do not use a bathroom that is associated with their biological gender. These are terrifying realities. I would also point out in a recent Newsweek article that the Cato Institute did a study of the 50 states and looked at the state with the least amount of personal freedom, and that state is Texas. which is ironic given that the Republican Party has long called itself the party of personal freedom, the party that wants the government to get out of the way. And yet here we are with a very Republican state where individuals have the least amount of freedom of Americans anywhere. I will say we have just about every freedom you can imagine with respect to guns. Personal freedoms, other personal freedoms, however, to do as we choose with our own bodies, or to live our lives in the way that we see fit without harm to anyone else, those are not freedoms that we have. So again, I would say it's a good idea to pay attention, keep an eye on what's going on in Texas as well as in Florida. I think those two states, more than any other, are going to serve as leading indicators for what's likely to come elsewhere and what Republicans at a national level are going to try to implement. Texas is also likely to be at the forefront with respect to mass deportation. The state has already offered up over 1,300 acres for use in setting up camps to facilitate the movement of undocumented immigrants and apparently now, in some cases, American citizens as well. And they are looking to offer additional acreage as well. So again, if you want to get a preview of what's coming and know what battles you are likely to be up against, I think Texas and Florida are the states that you want to take a look at and pay attention to.